Hi, this is Daniela Griffey, and today we're going to go over how to read your sequences. So you've already extracted your DNA, you've run PCR, you've confirmed your PCR was successful with gel electrophoresis. Now you've sequenced it. Now what? How do we read these sequences? So to do this, you're going to need to download files to be able to look at our chromatograms, which are kind of a diagram showing these sequences. So if you have a Mac, you can use 4Peak, or if you have Windows, you can use BioEdit, and you can click on these links provided in the slide to access those programs. I'm going to show you how to do 4Peaks because I have a Mac. You will also need the raw sequence folder here, and this is download of our sequences from the Sanger sequence. So you're going to open up your 4Peaks program. So at first it just kind of opens up in this bar here. You go File, Open, and then you're going to pick what file you're in. So here's your raw sequences. So we can start with any file. Okay, so let's start with this one, and it'll open up our chromatogram. You can stretch it out, you can make it bigger, smaller. If you notice, it has, remember for our Sanger sequences, it reads at a different fluorescent color. So you have your G's, your C's, all your A's are green, C's are blue, T's are red, right? So if we're looking at this, what does this mean? Okay. So you go here to how do you read. If you look at the beginning, those first four, if you look at this one, right, these first 20 to 40 base pairs, you have these ends, your peaks are not as nice and uniform as our ones in the middle. And this is because at this length, these sequences are just too small, too short to move through the matrix, and the machine can't get a really accurate, good reading on these. So these ones are not accurate. So we will have to go and trim these sequences down to get rid of these data. And even though we have some sequences here that popped up, you have some ends here. So when we get to that, I'll show you how to trim these. All right. As you go through, and you can move your cursor over the different peaks, and you can see up here it says your base. So this is your base location. So at the 80th position, it was a G, and your quality of 59. So what does our quality mean? This is your quality score. So we have our quality value, which is each sequence, how that is gone through. And remember, this happens thousands of times, and you have each of these sequences is replicated a bunch of times. So each of these sequences, what is the error probability of error that sequence is wrong in that position? Then your quality score is you take the averages of all these quality values from all the individual sequences to get your average score. Now, you want a quality score greater than 40 is really good. If it's 20 to 40, you kind of want to use, or 30 to 40, you kind of want to use caution, and I wouldn't use anything probably if it comes less than 20. But if you look here, even our smallest one is a 46. Our highest peak is a 62. So all this is pretty good data here. So you kind of just want to look through it, checking, make sure that there's not something that contaminated or inhibited your sequence. There's lots of different factors that could lead to this. So if you do get a bad quality score, you're going to have to kind of troubleshoot and look through it. Okay, so now we've checked out our histogram, looking at it. It looks very pretty. But we're going to need to use this data. So now what you're going to do is you're going to export. And so all right, so now we're going to have to export this sequence. So you can go to File, Export, and we're going to rename this. I'm going to take out the text, and I'm going to change it to a FASTA file so that we can import it into other programs to make data analysis, such as different graphs and things like that. So we're going to export it. You can pick your folder that you want. You can make a new folder. I'm just going to put it on a desktop. Okay, so I'm going to export it to my desktop. You want to make sure you keep your sample name. Okay, so now we're going to go look at our desktop and see here we have this FASTA file. Now, if you have a Mac and you click on this, it's not going to open. So what you do is you hit Control and click on it, and you go open with text edit. You can use any sort of text program. I just like using my text edit. So see, here's my ends. So I'm going to go through this and I'm going to delete all the ends I have at the beginning, and I'm going to check and make through the rest of my sequence, see if there's any more ends. Looks all clean, and there you have it. This is your sequence. So if you want to export this for other data analysis, if you want to compare your sequences, I'm next going to show you how you can take this sequence and make it into and compare it to or figure out what animal this is.